You know those completely absurd TikTok videos that somehow get millions of views for absolutely no logical reason, right? When you stare at someone completely embarrassing themselves on a screen, are you watching because you actually enjoy it, or are you just hate watching them? You probably roll your eyes, quickly scroll through the comments to make sure everyone else is just as confused as you are, and then send the video to a friend to laugh about how ridiculous it all is. We tell ourselves that we are the sane ones. We actually think that by making fun of the video, we are proving that we haven't completely lost our minds to the internet yet. But here is the devastating reality check. We love to complain that the internet is making people stupid. We label these creators as trash and call their audience brainwashed. But nobody is actually broken. Neither the TikToker who is trading their dignity for a few thousand digital likes, nor you, the highly educated adult who just spent the last 3 minutes paying for their next luxury sports car with your collective outrage. Today, I'm going to show you the exact biological trap that forces your brain to hate watch these people. But more importantly, we are going to expose a much darker truth: why your angry comments are the exact reason an entire younger generation is suddenly mimicking their absurd behavior. Let's look at the actual behavioral science behind this weird digital theater and decode the invisible psychological loop that secretly crowns the exact internet trends we all claim to hate. To truly understand why millions of people are glued to absolute nonsense, we have to put both the creator and the audience under a behavioral microscope. Let's start with the person on the screen, the TikToker pouring a bucket of slime on their head, doing a ridiculous dance, or screaming at strangers in public. You look at them and think they have zero self-respect, but biologically speaking, they are a highly successful, hyper-adapting organism. Back in the 1930s, a psychologist named B.F. Skinner designed something called an operant conditioning chamber. He placed a rat inside a box with a lever. Every time the rat pressed the lever, it got a piece of food. The rat quickly learned that pressing the lever equaled survival. Today, social media is just a massive digital Skinner box, but instead of food, the reward is attention, which translates directly into dopamine, status, and money. For thousands of years, humans gained status by being the strongest hunter or the wisest elder. But the modern algorithm does not care about wisdom, talent, or dignity. It only rewards extreme emotional reactions. These creators quickly learned that being normal gets them 0 views, but the moment they press the cringe or outrage lever, millions flood their page. They are not acting stupid because they are broken. They are just playing the exact game the digital ecosystem demands. But that brings us to the much more fascinating question. Why do you watch them? If their behavior is so embarrassing, why can't you just scroll past? This comes down to a brilliant psychological hack known as downward social comparison. Your modern life is exhausting. Every day, your prefrontal cortex burns a massive amount of energy trying to navigate complex social rules, perform well at work, and act like a sophisticated adult. By the time you get home, your cognitive battery is completely dead. When you open your phone and see someone acting like an absolute fool, your primitive brain gets an immediate, unearned hit of pure relief. Subconsciously, your nervous system is saying, "My life might be stressful and I might feel overwhelmed, but at least I am not as pathetic as that guy." It's an instant neurochemical massage for your ego. If you caught our previous breakdown on why people hate watch controversial alpha gurus, this survival trick will sound very familiar. You secretly use their public humiliation as a psychological shutdown button to soothe your own daily anxiety.
So, we have established that watching these bizarre videos is a highly effective biological trick to soothe an overwhelmed ego. But here is where our documentary looks at the hidden cost of this innocent habit. Let's think about what happens when millions of us spend our evenings hate watching. We leave a sarcastic comment, or we share the video with a friend just to say, "Can you believe this?" We genuinely feel like we are pushing back against a silly internet trend. But here is the ironic twist of the modern world. The social media algorithm does not understand sarcasm. It does not know the difference between a hate watch and a love watch. It only measures attention. every time we click, comment, or share a video to make fun of it, we are actually working as a highly effective unpaid marketing team for that exact creator. Our collective outrage is the exact fuel that buys their next sports car. And this brings us to the most fascinating part of the internet, the copycats. Society watches in confusion as younger generations, or just other creators, start mimicking these exact behaviors. We ask ourselves, why would anyone copy this? They aren't losing their minds, they are simply running a deep evolutionary software known as Mimetic Desire. The primitive human brain is hardwired to scan the environment and ask one simple question: who is getting the most attention? For our ancestors, attention meant safety and power. It is the ultimate tribal currency. When a developing brain looks at the internet, it doesn't judge the quality of the attention, it just sees the massive numbers. When millions of us hate watch a trend just to laugh at it, we are unknowingly placing a tribal crown on that creator's head. We make them the most visible person in the digital room. The copycats aren't just acting weird for fun. They are looking at the social hierarchy that our clicks built, seeing who holds the crown, and simply mimicking the leader to secure their own status. We complain about the strange direction the internet is going, completely unaware that our own need to comfortably hate watch is the exact mechanism keeping the cycle alive.
So the next time you look at a bizarre TikTok video and think society is completely collapsing, or you feel guilty for hate watching it for an hour, take a deep breath. Neither of you is broken. You are both just navigating an exhausting world. They found survival by trading their dignity for the algorithm's attention, and you found a way to soothe your overloaded nervous system by placing a tribal crown on their head just to mock them. It is not madness, it is just biology. But what is your physical proof? What is the exact name of that specific TikToker you secretly keep up with, even though you know their videos are completely absurd? Drop their name in the comments right now so we can finally admit to this weird little digital habit we all share. If this breakdown hit home for you and completely shifted your perspective on the internet's biggest hypocrisy, hit the subscribe button. And if you want to understand the other unspoken truths about how your mind works, the next video is going to hit you even harder. Tap the screen to keep decoding your behavior, and I will see you there.